Hello. This is how I start every panel, is just hello. It's a nice, welcoming morning. How's everybody doing? Yeah? Okay. It's 11:30. I get it. The energy is a little low right now. Welcome to PCD Presents, the PAX 101-2-3 panel. We're kind of the crash course for PAX. If you have never been, or maybe you're a veteran and you've been and you know everything here, totally fine as well. I know a lot of you guys are also here for badges, these community badges. Some of you may not know what these are. Community badges, we run the PCDs. Let's actually talk about who we are. Would be good. If my images would load, that's cool. There you go. Thank you. So I'm Andy, the gear icon. A lot of you guys have seen me before.
I'm Vid. I've probably encouraged you to make better choices.
I'm Lindy. I probably encourage bad choices. Let's be real.
And I'm Entity. You've probably seen me talking about the Cookie Brigade quite a bit.
He spends most of his time at East, not at West.
Yeah, this is my second West,
There you
so
go.
happy to be here.
He's a Boston native.
I am a Boston native. Yeah.
Right?
Your people.
Your people are here. So we are the PAX Community Discord. We are a community that's been running since 2016, 2017, something like that. We're kind of an offshoot of the subreddit and also the PAX forums, which were a big thing before everyone transitioned to Discord now. If you need to, there's a link to join right there.
Everyone.
Oh, everyone? Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. That was the big thing. But we run a badge. It's a community badge. This was actually a forum idea that came from the forums long ago. They used to give out these little community badges. I have mine right here. And we do ours a little differently. We actually customize them with the name and your profile picture, stuff like that from Discord. But we also offer free badges, so the community badges are paid for, and they help fund free badges so that other people can also get them as well. The blank ones have a little space that you can write your username, and it just helps people find each other. So like when you're walking around the floor and you see like a PCD badge, you can be like, oh, I know that person. So, yeah. We've been doing meetups since 2017. This is the OG meetup right here. It's the two of us.
I've been here forever.
We met up at the Discord booth, I think is what it was, yeah. Eating popcorn, because they used to do that at the Discord booth, was eat popcorn.
Weren't we playing, like, what's that game where all the pieces pop up?
Oh.
Where you put the pieces
Yeah,
in and then
yeah,
it
yeah.
pops up?
It's perfection.
Perfection, that
There
game.
you
We were
go.
playing that game.
So, before we start the panel real quickly, we have a channel set up in the Discord, if you are in it, where you can, if my text shows up, there you go, where you can join and you can put questions, and we're going to stop occasionally during the panel to kind of read the questions, answer them real quickly, kind of go through them. So if you have any niche questions or anything specific, yep, Lindy's got it pulled up on her phone. Should be PAX 101 panel. It's in the West section, so you'll need to be a West. You'll have to have the West role, which should be one of the first questions it asks you. Oh, I know. I get people who come up every once in a while and they're like, so what are you guys doing this year for West? And I'm like, we're doing our badges. We got our panel. And they're like, oh, I didn't hear about the badges. And I'm like, did you mute the server? Because we announced it. So, all right.
Make sure you're in the server so you always get the latest updates
Yes.
about what we're doing at any PAX
Yes.
event.
Especially like 3 months before PAX comes up. Unmute the server. That way you get announcements because they'll be relevant to you, I promise. All right, so let's start with PAX 101. The big thing, the easy thing, PAX Nav. Hopefully you already have this on your phone. It is the app that gives you your schedule, exhibitors, the map, all the guests. This is kind of your go-to hub for everything. Kind of the default, right? Pretty easy, yeah. I think it's been everywhere, so if you need to download it, there's a QR code as well. But there's also Twitter and the Reddits that also help out. A few Twitter accounts. PAX Lines is the one I really like to use for panels. It'll let you know when a panel line starts filling so you can get in line early and get a good seat. The PAX West news and the PAX parties are great for finding out other things outside of packs, especially things that are unlisted on the app. What you got?
Is cereal a soup?
Is cereal less? Oh, cereal. Okay.
Cereal's not a soup. Milk is a sauce for cereal.
We're already answering
I
questions.
rest my case.
That's why I was laughing.
Of note in particular, too, some of the Twitter accounts are unofficial, so keep in mind you're great resources. They're going to have lots of useful information, but sometimes things change, sometimes things wobble. Be
Yeah.
prepared for that as well.
They're not run by Penny Arcade.
Yeah. Speaking of Penny Arcade, the official PAX Discord is this one right here at Official PAX. We're just the community Discord. We're kind of the offshoot. We used to be the official PAX Discord. Now there's actually one. So there are 2 servers that you can be part of now. So we've got links for both of those guys. And now the tips. Yeah. All right. There's animations in this, by the way, and I don't know about the animations because somebody else did them, so things will probably happen that
It's so much fun. They just keep appearing.
There's just new things everywhere. So 621 rule, Vid, if you want to talk about that.
So 621 is one of the maybe most important things that you can carry to PAX or any convention, or maybe you're just having a really intense time at work. If you've got something really heavy weighing on you, please make sure that you're getting at least 6 hours of sleep a night. I know you can do less than that, but don't. It's just going to reduce your effectiveness elsewhere, and you're going to be miserable, and no one's going to want to deal with that. Additionally, eat 2 proper meals. What does a proper meal mean? I'm going to steal this from one Dr. B from Take This. That is a meal that you eat with a knife and fork. If you eat beer with a knife and fork, that doesn't count. It needs to be a meal that someone who loves you would be okay with you eating. And of course, please take 1 shower. You're going to feel better. Everyone around you is going to feel better. Get 1 in that 24-hour period somewhere, whether that's the beginning of your day, the end of your day, whatever works for you. But please, 621 forever for life.
And those are minimums, so you can eat more than twice a day if you want.
That depends. Tell me, is that a meal that someone who loves you would consider a meal? Then go with God.
Let Jesus take the wheel on that meal. Panels. You're in one right now, actually. Make sure that you plan them ahead. The day before, I usually go through all my panel lists and just make sure I've got everything checked in and I know what I'm doing and where I'm going. There's even little handy reminders that'll pop up notification-wise on the app to let you know. But the cool info is the theater names. I don't know if you've noticed, but they're named based on their floor. And all of them are in Summit this year, which is super handy. So the bottom is your frogs. Frogs live on the ground floor, so they're on level 3. The bit higher is your leaf, so it's high up in the tree. And then your flying animals like Firebird, Dragon, and Main Theater are on level 5. So that's the easy way to recognize it.
And the colors.
And the colors as well. So if you look on the map on level 3, I don't know if it's really, really good to see there, but you can see the colors. So north is blue lights, west is orange lights, south is red lights, and east is green lights. So if you're looking on the walls or on the ceiling, you'll see little LED lights, and it'll indicate if you're in the north, south, east, or west.
Which is relevant if you're looking for, say, a blue dragon or a green frog.
Yep. So Firebird, though, is orange, because apparently fire is orange, not red. I didn't make up the color system. So there's the car. I don't know if anybody saw that. And then merch. I'm going to let Vid talk about that.
So, hey, let's talk about the merch booth. Number one thing about merch, certain things are going to sell out. Certain things are going to sell out quickly. If you're here for hoodies and jackets, there's a real good chance you're not going to be able to pick that up on Monday. There's a real good chance you might not be picking it up on Sunday. So if you're looking for hoodies, if you're looking for jackets, things like that, I would suggest make time today and tomorrow if you can. Certain really popular shirt designs are going to fly right out the door. And also some of the more popular pin sets are going to go out the door. In that same regard, there are the limited edition pins. If you're familiar with those, there's the LE PAX pins at every show every year. There's going to be 2 per transaction, so you can only get 2 at a time. Don't ask for 5. I'll say no. If you are planning to revisit merch throughout the weekend, say you're trying to hit those merch goals at, I believe it's 55, 80, and 120 this year, where you get patches and additional pins, and you don't hit those numbers and you think you might be back later, be sure to ask for a receipt. The enforcer manning the table will happily have one sent to your text messaging number or your email address. Hang on to that. Next time you swing by the merch booth, say, hey, I spent $119 earlier. Can I spend an additional $1 now and get my merch pin? And they'll say, of course, absolutely, why not? Of particular note, the LE pins mentioned earlier are only available at the merch booth over in the Annex building that is just outside of the main entrance to the expo hall. And of course, different shirt sizes, different shirt materials have different sizes, same with the jackets. Feel free to ask if you can hold something up, if you can try something on. Make sure it works for you, because returns are possible but difficult, and you don't necessarily want to have to deal with that line again, that sort of thing. Check out what you're getting, make sure it works for you.
Definitely. Merch Light and Merch Expo. So some people might have noticed the announcement that I made yesterday that caused a fiasco. There is no longer a difference between Merch Light and Merch Expo. Now there's just Merch Summit and Merch Arch, and Merch Arch is the LE pin merch, right?
Yeah, Merch Arch is the closest thing to what used to be Light that there is at this show.
Yeah.
One of the other big differences, too, over at Merch Arch, you're going to have more PAX-specific merchandise. You're going to have things that are themed around West, things that have the PAX logo on it, stuff like that. If you're looking for more general Penny Arcade merchandise, stuff with Gabe and Tycho, or Thomas Kemper, any of the characters on it, you're going to be better off suited going across the way in this building to Merch Summit.
Yep. Speaking of Merch Summit, we've got Expo Hall in Arch. I don't know if that was a good transition. That was a probably terrible transition. Lindy, do you want to talk about Expo Hall?
I love spending way too much time in the expo hall. So it's a really big area, and you're going to get lost. I still get lost. The easiest things you can do, especially with a lot of the lines being so long, is to take pictures of the things you want to go back to later, especially if it's capped, which still happens pretty often, especially with the more popular booths. I know I have a friend who's been in the Nintendo booth for an hour already today. But just because Nintendo's here doesn't mean you need to go to Nintendo. There are lots of cool little games that you have never heard of before that are super worth it. You're going to see there's no line there. You're going to stop there and talk to that developer for 20 minutes, and you're going to have like the greatest 20-minute conversation of your life. Don't be afraid to do something a little different. And then there's a bunch of lines on the ground. There's lines on the ground out here. Pay attention to those. Sometimes you might accidentally be standing in the line, and then somebody might be like, hey, you can't stand there, move. And also you might just be in the wrong line, so just keep an eye where you are. The enforcers are everywhere and are gonna tell you where to go.
And you can also ask an enforcer where to go, too. That also works as well, yeah. My favorite area, though, is the free play area. If you've never been, so free play is a great spot to do like tabletop free play, PC free play. There's also console free play as well. So like if you've ever wanted to try a console game, that's even like on like the N64 or the Dreamcast or something like that, yeah, you can play those. And then part of this I didn't include in the slide is BYOC is down in free play. BYOC is bring your own computer. So you can actually have a LAN fest here. You can just bring your computer, station it. I do it every year because it's a nice place to like go and chill and relax away from the floor. And you have your own computer, so you can just like hop on a video game that you've got and play there. A lot of people set up their stream decks or their laptops, stuff like that. It's super handy and convenient. And it's now right next to the other free play stuff like tabletop free play and PC free play. So if you wanted to like take a break from your computer and try out other games, you have like the space to just walk around. It's really nice actually this year. for sure. It used to be in like separate buildings, separate areas. It was inconvenient. So, and lastly, the Seattle tips. For those who have never been to Seattle before, this is going to be an experience. But my first big recommendation: don't take CDs from people.
Want to listen to my CD?
No, I'm good. Please don't take the CDs. They probably are bad. Not bad music, they are probably bad in general to put in your computer.
It's probably an empty disk that they're gonna try to charge you $20 for, or try to sell you cryptocurrency once you take the CD. I don't know. They don't talk to them.
Just
One of the big ones is, well, I already signed it. It's ruined now. You have to have it. Your signature ruined it?
Yeah, a lot. They may advertise it as well as a free CD. Do you want a free CD? And then when you take it, it's like, oh, I'm taking donations for XYZ. Don't be mistaken. If they're handing out a CD in front of the expo hall, they are trying to scam you in some capacity. I think that's a pretty fair assumption.
this is also West is the only one that does this. I've been to East, never seen CD hawkers before, but West, they're everywhere.
They'd probably get beat up if they tried to unbox it.
Also, don't sell your badges to scalpers. They're usually not great at buying the badges, and I wouldn't buy a badge from a scalper because it's usually not real, or it could be a fake one or something like that. The other things is traveling with friends, just staying close to the con center. That's going to be in this downtown section of Seattle right here. If you want to go to like the Space Needle or Pike Place, those are great as well. But any further out, like Ann Arbor, Queen Anne, South Lake Union, you might be getting into some weirdness over there. But if you do want to get around, get an Orca card for sure. You get a 4-hour transfer on that one. So like if you need to hop on a bus and then hop on another bus and then like you want to move around all day, the 4-hour transfer is nice. So highly recommend getting them. They're at the Link Light Rail Station, super easy to get.
It's easy to put them on your phone now, too.
Yes, you can have it on your phone as well and recharge it on the phone. Like you can get a day pass and then just walk around the city with the buses. They're everywhere. And obviously food. Food is important. Food is the most important one. Make sure that you bring snacks, bring water, drink water. There's also the food court around the area. So there's lots of places to eat, and then drink water.
Hang on, we got to really drive this home. You right here in the front. Can I get a drink water every day?
Drink water every day.
All right, how about you? Can I get a drink water every day? Drink
Water every day.
Drink water every day. Drink water every day. Yeah.
The common phrase is hydrate or dihydrate. Stick with it.
We used to sell a shirt that had that. I think
We
still
do sell a shirt that says hydrate or dihydrate, yes. So, and then we already talked about the enforcers before, but it's nice to say is, again, Infodesk is your friend. Talk to an enforcer. If you need any help, report anything to enforcers. They can get things fixed, and just be respectful of the enforcers. They're working the show. They don't get to experience as much as you might get to all day. So
There's also banners throughout the show that have the see something, say something. There's a reporting line on those. I think they're all yellow.
Yeah.
So you can go, if you see any of those and you need to report something, you can call that number. It's like a direct line to the Convention Center Authority.
yeah. All right, it's breather time. Questions? Any questions so far? You got questions? Go for it.
Let's see. Can we repeat, where do you get an Orca card?
Link Light Rail Station. So the closest one is the Westlake Station. If you come out of this building and you make a right and you go down, I think it's Pine or
Yeah.
Pike. Pine. Yeah. It's just it'll be labeled too on the outside of the building. It says Westlake Station. You go inside and you go down the stairs. There's vending machines all over the place, and you buy one off of the vending machine. Digitally, you just download the Orca app and buy it off of the Orca app. But I think that only works on Android.
On Android, I know I can just add it straight to Google Wallet.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Yeah, you
iPhone.
iOS does not have
you
it.
can't do it on
yeah.
iOS.
Yeah. So only Android.
Can you really quickly go back to the helpful Twitter handles slide
Yes.
real fast?
I can
Was
definitely. do
another
that.
especially helpful if you do need a badge or you need to sell your badge because you have to
Yes.
leave early.
There
You
you
can
go.
sell. The Reddit.
Oh, the Reddit. There
we
you
go.
go. The Reddits.
Other question: what's the story behind your gear profile picture?
My gear. So long ago, in the early ages of Discord, I used to run the Apple Discord, and somebody thought it'd be really funny for me to be like the system settings for like April Fool's Day, and it just kind of stuck. And they gave me this super high quality systems icon, and I just kept it, and I've never left it, and now everyone just knows me by the gear icon. So yeah, that's just the story behind it.
If
Have
you
you
ever
played
change it,
Pikmin?
there's going to be a coup.
There's a
What?
If you ever change it, there's going to be a
Oh
coup.
yeah, I changed it one time to a Bulbasaur for Pokemon Day, and people were like, "Who are you? You're not Andy. What are you doing?"
You're right. Have you played Pikmin?
I have not.
I've played the first one.
You played the first one?
I played the first one.
Yeah.
I watched
not
my
played
little brother
Pikmin.
play them.
Never played.
It's on my list.
I'm sorry.
I'm reading all of these out of order. Sorry, everyone. Oh, what is, in your opinion, the must-do thing at your first PAX?
At your first PAX, see the show floor. Like just spend like a few hours walking the show floor. Don't stand any lines. Don't like queue for anything. Just walk the show floor. That was my first PAX, and I thought it was great because you get to see all like the exhibits, all the big booths, and like how fancy they go with their stuff. And you just get a layout of like what everything is, like where you're going, because then you can kind of plot out later for like, I'm gonna go see this booth. I'm gonna go see that kind of thing. So.
That's on level 3, right?
It's
That's
on
the
4
other building.
in some, or Arch, yeah.
Arch,
the
yeah. So
other
that's
building.
the other
Yep,
building. You have to leave this building and go 2 blocks
yep.
that way.
Yeah, so Summit is where most of your tabletop stuff is gonna be. So like tabletop booths, the vendors for tabletop, a lot of merch vendors are also gonna be here. Arch is where you're gonna find the show floor. That's on the 4th floor, that's their big. Yes, yes, so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there are lots of signs.
Plenty
One,
of stuff.
one of the short versions is Expo is over in Arch. Pretty much everything else is here.
In Summit, yeah.
Coming around to that for first PAX, stay till midnight at least once. Expo Hall closes at 6. The show keeps running for another 6 hours. Just because Expo has closed, PAX isn't over. There's so much to do, and so much of it is unscheduled. Sometimes you're just going to stumble into a fun thing by accident.
Yeah,
That'll be primarily in tabletop free play, a lot of that.
Oh, that is of note. Again, since Arch is pretty much Expo only, when Expo closes, Arch closes. You'll be here for the rest of the evening.
the rest of the evening, yep. So it's best to like spend your 6 hours over there and then come back over here later. Because most of the vendors will also still probably be open later than 6. So you'll be able to buy things. What about you?
The only other thing I would say about first PAX is don't worry too much about seeing everything or getting too involved. PAX is an iceberg. There's all this, there's walking the expo hall that's at the top, and then at the bottom you have stuff like Dr. Exo, which we'll get into. But
Dr.
don't,
Exoskeleton is a coward.
Don't.
it's a bold statement.
Wow, PAX 102,
But
great.
in general, don't worry about, just for your first show, focus on having fun.
Yeah.
Don't worry about seeing everything the show has to offer. Worry about getting lost in the expo hall and having fun, meeting a couple new people. Don't worry about getting into the super deep PAX stuff that
We're about to get into.
we're going to get into. But don't obsess over it. Don't feel like you're missing out if you don't experience it. At the end of the day, I would say one of the best things about PAX is just the experience of the expo hall, tabletop, having fun with that.
Yeah.
That's what you're here for. So start with that before you go too deep into anything else.
Speaking of getting deep into it, let's do PAX 102 now. This is going to be the less known stuff in PAX. So this is kind of like if you've been to PAX like once or twice, this is the new stuff for you probably. So the community surrounding PAX, you've already been introduced to one of them, PAX Community Discord. I don't need to go over that one anymore because that's us. The next one, though, that you may not know is Cookie Brigade.
I can talk about that. So Cookie Brigade, we've been at PAX since 2007. Long-standing organization that gives out free cookies and takes donations for Child's Play charity. They're the official charity of PAX. It was created by Gabe and Tycho. We've raised over $1 million since 2007. We're located in Tabletop at TT339. We have a lot of new stuff this year. 3 new pins, I think, that you can get your hands on. And obviously, thousands of cookies. I've been involved in the organization since 2019. I started organizing the organization last year. So make sure to swing by. We have a lot to do, a lot to see. We have claw machines this year, which is fun. So definitely come by there. It kind of leads into a bigger idea of charity at PAX. There are a lot of PAX charities, and I'll mention a couple more of them throughout this presentation. But charity is a big part of PAX.
Oh, yeah.
It's always been. Obviously, you have Child's Play. They're the official charity of PAX. They have a booth presence here. Take This runs the AFK room. You have Able Gamers, I think, has a booth somewhere. There's a ton of charity at PAX, and that's really, testament to the community that charity, like Cookie Brigade, we couldn't exist if the PAX community didn't continually support us.
Every one of you.
So make sure to stop by charities in general. I think that's kind of the main general point. Check out all the different charities. I'm biased telling you to go to Cookie Brigade, but the cookies are pretty good.
Yeah. They are really good, actually, yeah. It used to be that you could tweet out to them, and they would come visit you and drop off cookies for you. It was really funny. We had a panel one time, and somebody tweeted out, and Cookie Brigade showed up, and it was like cookies all around for the whole panel. It was great. The other one that I really enjoy is the PAX Pokemon League. This one's another kind of hidden gem of PAX. If you've ever liked to do a real-life like Pokemon League where you get badges and you compete against the Elite Four, this is the one to do. You just bring your Switch, your team, and you battle against different gym leaders. They usually tweet about it on their Twitter, the PAX Pokemon. And then their website also usually has a list of everything too. And they do community meetups every day. It's on their schedule. It's on the official schedule. So if you ever need to like meet up and find that one gym leader you can't find, this is where you can go for that one. And they're usually located in the community room as well. So like a lot of the gym leaders will hang out there. Walking around, you'll see them wearing big bright green scarves. So if you see a bright green scarf, they're a gym leader that you can battle against and try to earn their gym badge, basically. It's my favorite part of PAX. Penny Pals. Vid? No, I don't think any of us are pin collectors.
I'm a pin collector.
Yeah. We're all pin collectors, but Penny Pals is the kind of the pin trading. You might see it. It's a big thing for PAX is collecting the pins and stuff like that. There's PAX official ones, and they'll have like the Penny Arcade on the background or on the back of the pin. There's also some unofficial ones, so like Dr. Exo and the Enforcers have their own pins. We have our own pin that's official as well, so you'll see them around. The community trade is every day, usually at 1:30. I don't know where it is, but it's on the schedule, and it's got the map as well for it, so just check the schedule for that one.
Most people in trading will only be really looking for official Penny Arcade pins. If it doesn't have the Penny Arcade logo, which is the shape of the backing card, it's not an official Penny Arcade pin.
Yep.
And that's another thing too. If you're trading and you're really interested in only Penny Arcade pins, because they're the PAX pins, make sure if you're trading with someone that you check the back of the pin to make sure that it is an actual penny. You can get the pin set. It's $30 at merch, and that's really where I would say to start any pin collection, because you get the show pin that has it's like we'll say PAX West 2024 on it, and then you have often a bunch of other pins. There's 3 other pins in that set that I normally like to either trade or keep the ones that I like. And people are always willing to trade with you. It's not always about pin value. It's if you like a pin or not. That's the thing to focus on.
Yep.
A lot of folks will collect specific kinds of pins. Like a lot of folks want the ones with the cat on it specifically. And it's just like, no, I want every single one with the cat on it. And additionally, there are the pin trading boards at both of the merch booths as well. Big cork boards where there's an enforcer managing it. Like it's just trade any one pin that you have for any one pin on that board. That's always a fun way to find old pins, ancient treasures, just some really cool things show up from time to time. It's always worth swinging by if you're really into the pin trading aspect.
Yep.
We have 2 of those cork boards at Cookie Brigade as well. They're all
They're
one
kind
for
of all over the place.
Yeah, I think there's like 1,500 some odd Penny Arcade pins.
There's so many.
There's a ton of them. I think there's 2 or 3 people that have all of them.
Yeah.
So that first year, I tried real hard to be one of those people who had every pin. I had no idea that they were going to start producing 1,500 pins. It will consume you.
Yep.
Do not let it.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're having a good time. In that case, you know, dive into that pin money bin. Let's go.
Yeah.
Just make sure everything's capped. Don't want to get pricked by the pins.
With pin trading, another big tip: get locking pin backs. You can get them on Amazon or anywhere online for super cheap. The pin backs that they give you, the little rubber ones, they're fine, but they will come off if you're moving around, a lot of things like that. And the last thing you want, like you can see on my lanyard, they're all locking pin backs.
Yeah.
These won't come off. So make sure that you get locking pin backs for, at the very least, any pins that you actually care about.
100%. PAX Together. This is used to be called the PAX Diversity Lounge. So some people might be familiar with it if you heard about it before. It's for the it's kind of the PAX intersection of like diversity for POC, LGBTQIA, a lot of different communities that are niche communities. So they all kind of gather in the same area. They're in room 440 on Summit, so that would be the 4th floor. Definitely check out them. There's a lot of booths, especially they usually give out like free stuff, little swag pieces, stickers, stuff like that. And sometimes they also have little badge, what are they called?
The ribbons.
The ribbons. They have little badge ribbons for like pronouns or like what culture you're part of or diversity space you're in, that kind of thing. So highly recommend if you are one of those members, check them out. Even if you're not, check them out anyway. They're great spaces for just finding people to talk to, for sure. And then finally, the honorable mentions. You probably missed it already. It's the Poke Crawl. This is usually the night before PAX. It is a kind of bar hopping experience where they go bar to bar in a team. They raise money for charity, Child's Play specifically. And so the teams are usually separated into like the gym types. So like fire team, the grass team, water team, stuff like that. And then finally, of course, the Penny Arcade forums. We've talked about them before. They are the precursor to our Discord server. They still are active, I think. Very low activity, but I think it's because everyone's moved on to like other locations for.
Most of the forums are still popping, except for the PAX section, oddly enough.
Yeah. Everyone likes to talk about everything else. So, yep. That's PAX 102. Well, actually, no. We have a few smaller tips. The tippier tips.
The tip your tip.
The tippier tips. We talked a little bit about navigating. The color-coded lights are how you get around for identifying. Also using overhead signage for reference and waypoints. Those are good ways of identifying where you're at. And then obviously, of course, ask an enforcer how to get around. Vendors we talked about.
Yeah, keep an eye on like what's online versus what's show exclusive. Sometimes if you want something and they're sold out, they'll ship it to you.
Yeah.
I've ordered plenty of things that way. Just keep an eye on it, like.
Check every once in a while because they do run out of stock usually around Sundays. Fridays and Saturdays are the days to get merch if you need any merch. But yeah, they'll ship for sure.
On that similar token, if they have a PAX exclusive discount and they sell out, sometimes they'll give you a promotional code that you can use online to get that same discount. That happened to me at Audio Technica one year. So if they're running a show exclusive discount and they run out, make sure to ask if they have any promotional codes that they could carry that discount into online for that item you're looking for.
Yep. Tournaments. Sign up online or in person. You've already missed Friday's tournaments. I'm sorry. But this is for Saturday and Sunday and Monday now. You can check on the website or on the app itself, or if you go to the specific area it's located in at 10 a.m., you can sign up there as well. So like console tournaments are usually in like the console free play.
And
PC
those are usually available throughout the day, too.
Yes. They're usually all day. But 10 a.m. is when you want to sign up because like certain tournaments may fill. So you want to usually go there first if there's a tournament you're really interested in getting into.
If it does fill, you can always check and say, like, did it actually fill? Did 10 people not show up? Always keep an eye out because there is a good chance that somebody's not going to show.
Yeah. They might join a panel instead. So, and then for health, I always bring ibuprofen or aspirin just in case, headaches, stuff like that. Hand sanitizer post-COVID is a must as well. Cough drops is what I should have brought today. I did not. And then make sure you take your breaks and wash thine fingies.
Here, this one's been in my pocket. It's real warm.
Yes. I'll take this later.
I already had a friend who will go, anybody got any backpack Tums? And 3 of us already were like, we got Tums, we're ready. So everybody's ready.
And then the last thing, networking. A lot of people like to use PAX as networking. If you've got business cards, make sure to bring them, drop them off. Definitely don't be pushy, and make sure you just know who you're talking to. Get a name, email, maybe swap contact information. I know most of you guys are probably not here for networking. You're here for the entertaining stuff. But we like to make a little distinction for networking. Okay, questions now.
What's your favorite Final Fantasy 14 raid? It's the only question I got.
My favorite Final Fantasy 14 raid is going to be Pandemonium, from Endwalker. I know half of you don't even know what I'm talking about.
Listen, we're answering the question.
I'm answering the question. It's in there, so I'll do it. All right. So
Vault
last,
of Glass.
What's that?
Vault of Glass is my favorite raid.
Vault of Glass from World of Warcraft.
Oh, Destiny.
Oh, Destiny. I don't play World of Warcraft, so I have no idea what raids are like there. Just Final Fantasy 14.
I think you just stand you stand in the lava is what I'm under the impression.
Yeah.
I think that's what WoW raids are.
Oh yeah. There's a section in Final Fantasy 14 where it's like there's a lava circle and you can just stand in the lava and you can play the splash emote. Crystal Tower. Yep.
Twinning's got good music.
Twinning's got good music. Yeah, I love Twinning.
Tips for completing the pin quests. Is it tough to finish?
I don't. Oh
I think
my
there's
gosh.
15 to 20
Yeah.
pins in the pin quest. There's a map that comes out every year, which the username is.
It's in this presentation.
Oh, it is.
We're in the last section when we'll
yeah.
get there.
This is
But
the good part.
follow that map. The only thing I'd say with it is, I personally would say, don't get pins you don't like just for the sake of getting the pin quest. There's a pin quest every year. Really, all it is PAX featuring pins that they like. There's nothing special about it. There's no end-all be-all. Get pins that you like. Don't worry about completing the pin quest just to complete the pin quest. Get
Unlike
your
PAX
favorite
XP, where you get a medal
Right.
for completing that.
If
That's
you're
the
really
quest you want to
fast.
do. Is that it?
Are there any special panels that happen each year that we should see?
pin. You're there right now.
Yeah,
here
I
right
would
now.
say, I believe it's right after this one at like 1 o'clock-ish is the birthday panel for PAX.
Oh, yeah.
The 20th anniversary
I'm
panel.
glad they're not overlapping us.
Yeah, that one. I would say probably hit that one because that just sounds like it's going to be a really good time to celebrate the fact
Yeah.
that PAX has been going on for so long.
Yeah. Speaking of how long PAX has been going on for, Penny Arcade. Started as a webcomic in 1988. They held their first PAX in 2004. Does anybody know where the first PAX was? No. Oh?
Can't tell if they were stretching.
Where? Bellevue, yes, in the Maidenbauer Center. So like across the river, or across the, is it a river? The Sound? No, the lake. The lake.
We got this.
Yeah, we got this. So they started, back in Bellevue. They moved over here to Arch, which was the Washington Convention Center for a while. And it's created by Jerry Holkins and Mike Krahulik, who go by Gabe and Tycho as their alter egos in their comics. So, little fun fact, PAX history. PAX East, when did that start? Putting you on the spot.
I think
2009?
2009 or 2010.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
One of those. It was
That zone.
late 2000s.
Yeah. And then rest in peace, PAX South. You were 2010? There we go.
You're best friends now.
Right?
You're having soft tacos later.
Right. So more resources. This is going to be the nitty gritties. This is the important stuff for people who are even veterans of PAX. They may not know about this. We have talked about the swag map before in the Discord server, but the swag map is done by Mike the Ferret. He does it every year for every PAX. It is where you can find all of the free stuff that PAX, or not PAX, but booths will give out. And he usually marks it as like if you have to do something, if it's a contest, If you have to.
It's like raffles, giveaways, if you have
Yeah.
to play the game, if you have to like take a photo, it's all in this spreadsheet. Explains exactly what you need to do to get said item
Yeah.
at whatever booth, and then also what booth it is, I believe, the number is there. And then there's maps as well. I find the spreadsheet easier than looking at the map and what's circled, but it's up to person by person.
Yep. QR code will bring you to the spreadsheet. It's a Google sheet. One thing that's not mentioned in here that I will point out because it's Pokemon and I love it. The Pokemon booths gives out the pins for free. All you have to do is participate in the booth. So like you go there and you play a match or learn how to play, they'll give you the pin. It's free. So you don't have to buy the pin. So keep that in mind. It's not marked on the swag map, but it is technically a free item that you can get for people who are looking for it. Speaking of pins, the Penny Arcade map by our lovely THX42. This is where all the pins are located. This is that pin map we were talking about earlier. QR code goes straight to THX's tweet that has the image that you can see here that is probably hard to look at or take a picture of. So definitely check that out. He also runs the Penny database, which is a database of all of the pins that have ever existed ever in Penny Arcade. So in person, yeah, everything. So check that out as well. The link is, I listed the link, but I think it's in his profile as well. So if you want to take a picture of it, feel free to. This is definitely for the pin collectors for sure. The pin enthusiasts. I'll give it a second. Pin enthusiasts, yeah, that's a good word.
Pin pals.
Penny pals, yeah. All right. And then the last of the niche stuff, con etiquette. Be polite, respect your boundaries of people, ask permission, not forgiveness, and be considerate of others. This is general, like, the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated, basically. I don't know why that is here. This should be with the Penny Arcade, but Acquisitions Inc. is another kind of must-see panel if you're a D&D enthusiast. This is hosted by a lot of the founders of PAX. They do a D&D, it's a large storyline, very large. They just started season 2, and it started out as a podcast, so definitely check the schedule for this one. If you like D&D humor, they dress up, they get really into character. It's a great time, but it's also recorded.
Genuinely recommend this one even if you're not into D&D. It's just a really good show. It's got that PA kind of humor. You've got some of the WotC designers there running the game usually. It's just a real fun time.
And then you get references later like Green Flame.
I mean,
There you go.
The one guy.
Sorry. I had to say that because like, I hear that every time I go to merch is Green Flame just gets shouted.
Green Flame.
Ah.
At all times.
Yep. You are into
I-
PAX XP. Do this.
I do this sometimes. So there's little kiosks all around. There's like one like literally right around the corner. There's one down 2 floors. I've already found like 5 or 6. You'll scan them with the PAX Nav app. You have to register your badge, scan your badge. But there's prizes. There's 2 teams for Gabe and Tycho. The first so many people to complete it get medals, so they might be out by now. Depends on the day and like how many people rush it. But they literally on the back say like Speed Demon and what year it is. I have 2. Sometimes you just have to. But it's just like another fun little thing to do. All of the things when you scan them, I think they started this back at East last year. There's like activities now when you scan them. So it's like little trivia and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think there's some trivia. This one right here is like you scan it and you just immediately know if you win or lose. But right next to it is a photo booth, so you can actually like take photos and have them saved and that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's trivia ones too. And then there's one that's like the PAX XP Tower where you scan it and then it like you might win a physical prize that's like in the little glass box. So
I did have a friend win a computer a couple years ago.
I won a drink cup. That was the most I ever won, was a drink cup. So yeah, I think they're giving out computers over here at this one. Yeah, definitely check them out. And then
This one's me too.
this one's her favorite.
This one's my favorite. This is what I spend my entire PAX doing. I've been going since 2012. I started doing Dr. Exoskeleton in 2019-ish, I want to say. If you've probably seen the guys walking around already in full, very fancy Plague Doctor outfits. These are minions. They will give you an envelope. The envelope has an invite code to join an exoskeleton team. It's a team-based ARG. There's puzzles based off of like questions about games. Already a couple of them have had to do with signs around this building that we've had to run around. I've been running around the past hour before this panel, like finding signs and pictures that are in the convention centers. It's just a really fun ARG. It has a pretty good little community at this point. We all probably have the Minion lanyards at this point.
I don't have mine.
I have a bunch of his. He has prizes. You earn soul coins. You sell your soul for this game, by the way, casually.
Both physically and mentally. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of prizes, lanyards, hats, mugs, and it's just a fun little thing. There's anarchy mode, which is like a free-for-all, and then ranked mode, no hints, no working together. Your team is on their own, sitting there possibly for hours, staring at one question, trying every single thing in the Wikipedia page for like Destiny 2 characters.
I just remember Googling at my computer all day, like the really most obscure phrases, and like maybe it's this game that was made in 1973 by a developer who was like 2 people, and that just you get into some crazy niche
You
stuff.
get
Brain book cookie door.
Oh god.
There's some crazy stuff, but it's definitely a fun little thing if you want to do something that's other than going to panels and walking around the convention center.
Definitely, it's a fun time. Even we have a channel set up in the Discord server where people can discuss it, talk about it, that kind of thing.
I literally keep checking like to make sure my
yeah.
group is doing okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Like,
also just a good downtime task too.
Yeah.
If you got time between panels, or you're in a panel and you just need to zone out for a minute.
Yeah,
You
because
can
you
work on
don't have
trivia.
to try to beat the whole thing. Even if you only get a couple hundred coins, you can still get patches and pins and
Yeah.
buttons from just experiencing it.
Yeah. So it's a really good time. Definitely highly enjoy it. If maybe it's not a first PAX thing, but it is a like eventually do it at PAX kind of thing. Like now you know about it. Next year you know to like day one go find that minion and get like a letter, or like even just find it in, like the bathroom.
I found one in the bathroom
yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the exception. If you find an envelope, at that point you've been chosen.
You've been
Just
chosen.
go for
Just
it.
do it. Yeah.
Because there's not a guarantee that you're going to get it every year either.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you hunt down a minion, you'll get one. But if you're not actively looking for them, then there's not a guarantee you're going to be participating in it every year.
And it gives you time to set up a team beforehand. So if you have a group of people going with you, you can all like organize and agree, hey, we're going to find this envelope day one and we're going to sign up and we're going to get set up and go do that kind of thing. So highly recommend it. I think that's everything for EXO, right? Yeah, that's all of it.
Yeah.
There's a Twitter account for it if you want to follow it. He tweets about it. He's actually local to Seattle, so he only does West. I think he did a digital one for East one year. It
He's
went
done
okay.
South, I believe.
And he's done South, yeah.
And also nobody knows who this guy actually is.
Yeah.
Like he is just a
An
plague doctor.
enigma. An enigma, yeah. So the best memes come out of it. The brain door cookie, yeah. It's a
Cubert.
minion throwing a cookie at a door. That's the meme. You won't get it unless you were there.
I was there and I still don't get it.
And he spent 7 hours on this question like everybody did.
And then the most famous thing to come out of this was Flappy Bird. He did, one of his puzzles was a Flappy Bird puzzle, and it was like the most not intuitive Flappy Bird game, and people were just stuck on it for hours because it was not coordinated really well. It was a web-based Flappy Bird, basically. It was wild.
art.
Yeah. So, Health 2.0. This is just more about your health. Highly recommend the AFK room.
Yeah, the AFK room is run by Take This. They're a mental health nonprofit. If you follow them on social media, you'll know they're kind of going through some tough times right now. So definitely stop by there and support them. Buy a pin, things like that if you can. They need to raise a lot of money to stay open. So yeah, definitely stop by the AFK room. This shirt actually is in partnership with them. There's plenty of QR codes in the AFK room where you can get a shirt and support them in the Cookie Brigade as well. They also have earplugs there. You can go, they're free earplugs you can go take if you need to walk around the show floor. It's very overstimulating if you haven't been to a PAX before. So definitely grab those earplugs if that's something that would
Yeah.
help you.
And then AFK room is also, a lot of people have social anxiety, social disorders, stuff like that. They actually have volunteer therapists to sit there and talk with you. So if you need a place to like sit, and I don't know why I'm getting emotional. Sorry.
Mental health is important.
Mental health is important, and I like it's a big thing. One of my friends is a therapist that does it, and every year it's just like it's a big deal. I highly recommend it. It's a quiet space. It's safe. It's really great. I have no idea why that
what's on
came
the next
over.
slide?
What's on the next slide? Omegathon.
Oh my God, it's the Omegathon. The Omegathon is a tournament. I don't know, is anybody an Omegonaut in here? That'd be cool. They randomly select a bunch of people that buy badges every year, plus the runner-up from the previous one, I believe.
Yep.
They all compete. It's random games. I think, isn't Tetris one this year, I think?
I did not look up what the.
I think so.
Yeah?
Tetris,
It was?
cool,
Okay.
yeah.
My understanding is all of the announced Omegathon games so far are previous final rounds.
Yeah, they're all the previous games that were in previous ones.
Which makes sense.
Which is cute for
Yeah.
the anniversary.
Anniversary, yeah.
It's just a fun little thing. You can go pick a random Omegonaut, and you're like, that's my winner pick. Like, I want them to win the tournament.
Yep.
There's a banner for them, I believe, on the
I want to say it's on the first floor.
first
here.
floor that
It's
says
usually in the entrance
all their
queue.
usernames and
Yeah.
then where they're from.
Yep.
And then you can compete for a trip to any PAX Australia of your choice.
We say this because you get to really go to any PAX you want, but the most expensive PAX and the most exclusive is PAX Australia. So that's where everyone picks, is PAX Australia. I think it was off the table, though, a year or two in a row. Now it's
Big
back.
controversy.
People wanted it back. So definitely check it out. It's a fun time. And then the final game is always played the last day. It's the last event, basically, for PAX. So it's usually between two people. And it's just fun to watch them compete. PAX Unplugged does tabletop games only. So if you ever want to watch two people play
It was
Hungry
unmatched.
Hippo.
Hungry Hippos, Unmatched. Was
Battleship
the final
was a big one.
Yeah. So
If I may, very briefly, going back to things that you should definitely do your first time here, if you can go to the final round, again, very last thing that happens on the show, if you can do the final round, super recommend it. It's an incredible closing ceremony for a PAX. It is one of the most PAX things you can possibly do. There is nothing like being in a crowd of people all screaming as someone's desperately trying to get Mario to fly up to the second floor.
When they had the Power Glove a couple years ago, that was a big one. They brought out the Power Glove to play, and
Oh, yeah.
people were screaming in the audience. They're like, oh my God, it's here.
Yep.
yeah. So really definitely recommend checking it out if you've got some downtime. And lastly, just a few random assorted things to look at. There's the PAX Arena. You've probably seen it. It's on the main show floor, expo hall. It's usually where they do just esports in general. Usually you want to keep a Sharpie or a pen on hand for autographs. I always tell this story. 2016, I walked into the PAX Expo at like 11:30 in the afternoon and passed by Philip DeFranco, who does the I don't know if you guys have ever seen Philip DeFranco, the YouTube channel, and just like casually walked past him. And I was like, I don't have a pen on me. I can't ask him to autograph anything, but I'm wearing his shirt at least, so I can talk to him. You don't, he's a big YouTuber. He's an old YouTuber too. He's been around for a while. He does news. But it was really cool to like randomly just casually walk by like a huge YouTube star and be like, I want to talk to him and I want to like say hi and stuff like that. So keep a pen on hand for sure. Bringing portable chairs. You've probably seen a lot of people with those guys for the long lines, especially like Nintendo. Definitely have a portable chair on you. Bring multiple lanyards and change them out every day, so that way you can kind of change up your style each day. Every lanyard's different. Everyone has different pins that they like to wear to feature. It's kind of like a little showcase of what I've got kind of thing. And then, of course,
Drink water every day. Drink water every day. Drink water every day.
Do you guys
Yes.
want to know what's not water? Energy drinks are not water. Coffee is not water. Soda is not water. Liquid IV is water. Don't be afraid to put liquid IV or those other electrolyte packets in your drinks because even if you're trying your best to drink water,
Yeah.
you're going to want more.
Yep. Yes. We have 5 minutes left. We're on the last section of questions.
I don't have any more questions.
No more questions?
But you got a question.
One question is, I actually did forget to bring a pen. Do you guys have a spare pen?
I do. It's an oil-based pen. Okay.
We got extra pens.
We have
We're
extra
always
pens.
ready.
Yeah.
On pens, ballpoint pens will not work on a badge.
Yes.
You want someone to sign your badge, you need a Sharpie.
Or an oil-based
Or
pen.
any type of liquid pen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use oil-based for the markers, or for the badges. Sharpie can rub off or like get rubbed off. So if you want it to be there permanently, oil-based. If that's all the questions, there's the QR
The
code.
QR code showed up.
Yeah, finally shut up. Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you for showing up today. If you are here for badges pickup, hang around for a few minutes. We'll hand them out to anybody who's looking. QR code to provide feedback. We like to hear what we did, if we did anything good or bad. If we were terrible, when we were unfunny, let us know. We can take it. We promise.
I might cry.
Don't make this one cry.
You're awesome.
Yeah, but thank you guys.